What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com, and it happened. It finally happened. The Dallas Cowboys lost a football game. Losers the Cowboys were in Week 4 when they traveled to take on the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. But look, let's figure it out, all right? Because not everything is bad. I know that you think the coach sucks. I know you think the players are bad. I know you think this team isn't going anywhere. They were supposed to go undefeated all the way to the Super Bowl in Miami. That's not how this works. Let's consider the facts, all right? The Dallas Cowboys, yes, they were 3-0. Yes, they lost the game to a team that didn't score a touchdown. However, there is some important context here. The Dallas Cowboys traveled to one of the NFL's most intimidating places in the New Orleans Superdome. The Dallas Cowboys took on a very good roster in the Saints that almost made the Super Bowl last year themselves. They took on a head coach that's very good, and they played another chapter in this historic Cowboys-Saints rivalry that has seen battle after battle, not to mention the one that the Cowboys themselves won last season. It's not ideal, again, that the Cowboys lost to a team that didn't score a single touchdown, but they did not allow a touchdown. The Cowboys went to the Superdome. They played this really good team, this really well-coached team, and they didn't allow a touchdown. That says a lot about this team. Look, offensively, I'm not going to lie to you. It was basura. I mean, it was gross what we saw from the Cowboys. They were insistent on running the ball on first and second down. What happened, Kellen Moore? Where'd you go, buddy? You were all about play action. You were all about movement. You were all about pre-snap motion. What made you retreat into your shell and just run the ball into a brick wall, play in and play out against the New Orleans Saints? It really felt like, if you watched the game fully, the Cowboys were aware of what was going on in the Superdome. They were aware all week long that crowd noise was going to be a factor. It felt like Jason Garrett, who has talked about this before, if you remember back what he said on Amazon's All or Nothing, it felt like the team really tried to just take the crowd out of it by running the ball. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. Unfortunately, plans didn't go according to how everybody wanted and hoped, but the Cowboys again only lost by 2 points. And they only lost by 2 points, all of these things considered, with some weird calls. Think about what happened throughout this game. Think about the fact that Amari Cooper was called for offensive pass interference not once, but twice. You got to give Marshon Lattimore a lot of credit. On the first pass interference play that Amari Cooper pulled, I mean, yeah, it looks like there's some pushing. It looks like there's some, contact, which is why these officials are going to throw the flag. We've seen that. The second one, I think you got to give Marshon Lattimore a lot of credit for. He really sold that Amari Cooper pushed off. And sometimes that's the way penalties go. That's part of the game. That's part of the style. That's part of the overall chess match. And Marshon Lattimore won. It sucks. It's unfortunate. I know. But you got to give him credit, because if Byron Jones made those plays, I guarantee you'd be singing songs praising him throughout the entire time. Look, this was not ideal. You don't want to lose a game, all right? But the fact is, the Cowboys did lose. They lost, and they are now 3-1. And that made me think back to 2014 when the Cowboys beat the Saints, incidentally, on Sunday Night Football in Week 4. That made them 3-1 on that season, and that 3-1 felt awesome. And Jason Witten, after that game, he talked about it. He said, look, the goal is to win every quarter in the NFL. If you do that, you end up with at least a 12-4 record. You're in the playoffs, and you figure out what happens. Those 2014 Cowboys, they ultimately did go 12-4, ultimately did make it to the playoffs, ultimately did win a playoff game, and ultimately Dez did catch it against the Green Bay Packers. And now, these Cowboys, they have a home date against the Green Bay Packers. On Sunday, they'll face off against Aaron Rodgers. We'll see how that goes, but the Cowboys do feel like a team that had a bit of an aberration performance. I know that you think, look, man, obviously this team just beat up on the Giants and the Redskins and the Dolphins. When they play a real team, they're not going to be that same squad. Look, you have to consider the fact that the Cowboys were, again, in one of the most hostile places in the NFL. The crowd was wild. The Saints were amped. The Saints were not going to fall. The Saints were not going to lose this game. When you're in a situation like New Orleans was, you come out, you outperform yourselves, and they did. You got to give them all the credit in the world. Jason Garrett has been very firm about that in the aftermath of this loss. The Cowboys are 3-1. They've lost a game. It happens. This is the NFL. You're not going to win them all. We've been talking about that forever here. You're going to lose. You're going to stumble. You're going to have some weird calls. You're going to have all this stuff happen. And amazingly, the Cowboys had all of that bad stuff happen in the same game and only lost by 2 points to a team that did not score a touchdown. Think about that. Think about all the weird things that happened in this game. Jason Witten fumbled. Zeke Elliott fumbled. Amari Cooper got called for 2 offensive pass interference plays. The Cowboys offense only scored 10 points. All of that being said, and they were in one of the NFL's most intimidating buildings, and they still only lost by 2 to a team that did not score a touchdown. I've said that 5,000 times, and I'm going to say it again because it's important. Think about the way the Los Angeles Rams lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Would you rather be them, or would you rather be the Dallas Cowboys? And the answer is very obvious. You would rather now and always be the Dallas Cowboys. That's just the way things roll sometimes. 3-1. 3-1. There are a lot of worse places to be. 3-1 entering the NFL second quarter. It's October. On October 3rd, ask me what day it is.
It's October 3rd.
Hey, have a great week, everybody. We got some fun stuff coming up, so make sure you're checking out bloggingtheboys.com all the time. Make sure you subscribe to the Blogging the Boys podcast feed where you can hear from me and all of our great BTBers. And make sure you subscribe right here to the Blogging the Boys YouTube channel so you never miss a thing. We're going to get through this. We're going to make it. I promise you. We'll see you next time.